Tampa Bay is a strange team because they still have a lot of elite players on that roster, but everyone thinks they're going to be, a top 5 pick in the draft. And part of that, of course, is, so long Tom Brady, welcome in Baker Mayfield. But he's still got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin's there, Russell Gage. Baker has to play in that 2020 form, Baker. He can't be what we saw the past couple seasons, or else it could blow up very quickly. And then, of course, they lost Leonard Fournette. The run game wasn't good to begin with in Tampa Bay. That's not going to help them. Julio Jones leaves. Big Julio Jones podcast.
Yeah, that's the Bucs are my last place team because he's gone now.
Yeah. All right. All joking aside, one actually kind of crazy thing that they're doing, they're moving Tristan Wirfs, arguably the best right tackle in football, over to left tackle. He played there in college. We'll see. I think it should be fine. He's really, really good, but something to pay attention to is the offensive line and how they'll be with a lot of moving pieces, 2 really young guys at right guard and right tackle. So Baker Mayfield, we'll touch on the offense first, as we've been doing. Do you think that, last year he was not good. Can he come back and kind of, I don't want to say reclaim, he wasn't a star or anything, but can he get back to that 2020 form and be average enough for the Buccaneers? Like, why do you dislike them so much?
Because they lost Julio Jones. No. I don't hate the Bucs. I think that if Derek Carr had come to the Bucs instead of the Saints, they're a huge favorite to win the NFC South because they have the best, probably the best roster and the most skill outside of a quarterback in the division. There's still some star power there.
That's why I'm wondering why everyone thinks they're so terrible. It's because Baker was bad, but he's not horrible.
Baker Mayfield, we saw relatively recently, and again, he's not a guy I'm high on, but playing devil's advocate to myself, we saw fairly recently he went on the road in the divisional round and played a really, really close game in Kansas City after beating the Steelers. He was good. If you can get that form of Baker Mayfield, this team wins the NFC South. But I don't think you're going to get that Baker because I think that was kind of a flash in the pan. I don't think he's that good. I don't like his attitude. I think if
good commercials.
I think if things start to go out of control and he's not playing well, it's not gonna. It'll be a big disaster and go downhill because I don't think he's the type of guy who can keep his head.
Okay.
I think if Mike Evans is open right and Baker overthrows him, there's going to be Baker will look. He'll get angry. It can go downhill very fast with a guy like Baker Mayfield.
Ziggy, what do you think of this?
I think Baker Mayfield started 10 games last year, went 2-8, threw for 2,200 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions.
Fair enough.
Well, it's not a guarantee Baker Mayfield gets the starting job. I get that he's in line for it.
Kyle Trask will not be a starting quarterback.
It's Baker Mayfield.
But it just tells you how dire the situation is. Look, there are some good offensive skill weapons, but the fact is the Buccaneers don't expect to be good, right?
No,
What's the sign of a rebuilding team? Well, in the draft, you spend all your picks on the trenches, right? You try and get future contributors there. Mm-hmm. Well, their first 3 picks were spent on an offensive tackle and an edge rusher and another edge rusher. Sorry, I guess Kawaja he plays inside, huh? So it was an defensive tackle, offensive tackle, edge rusher, right? They're ready to rebuild. I don't see a lot.
They are ready to rebuild, but then when people say, I don't think that the Bucs are close to the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are much worse, much, much worse.
I totally disagree. The Cardinals have a much better quarterback.
Oh, sorry. I'm talking Cardinals, no Kyler right now.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. I really think that this Buccaneers team could stink. You've got a bad old defense.
Yeah.
You've got a bad quarterback. They're giving up on the run game. They've got 2 good wide receivers, but they cut Cameron Brate. There's just not a lot to work with here.
If Tampa Bay, if this team is 1-4 and Baker's bouncing balls in front of Chris Godwin, bouncing balls at his feet, it can fall apart. I can very quickly.
I think this is probably
bad.
A 6-win team. I don't think the Buccaneers are going to be great, but I'm just saying, if Baker plays well, they can 100% compete for the division.
Maybe 7-10 and not 2-15. Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are really, really down on Tampa. Is a division win possible for the Buccaneers in your eyes?
Possible? Yeah.
Ziggy, it sounds like you just think this team sucks.
I think this team sucks. Is the division win possible? I mean, I guess, if only because I think it's possible that 3 of the 4 worst teams in the NFL are in this division.
Well, that's why it's possible. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
they could outperform, right? Like, is the offensive line terrible? No. They've got good receivers. You know, maybe like the edge rushers, my boy Joe Tryon is going to finally show something.
They've been waiting for something from him.
You know, like the secondary's okay, I guess.
Outside
V is a freak.
Jamel Dean, there's not really much at corner. That's another
Antoine
big area.
Winfield Jr. is okay.
Antoine Winfield.
Carlton Davis is.
Antoine Winfield and Ryan Neal are fine. It's the cornerbacks outside Jamel Dean that could get beat up. Levante David's still going strong, but everywhere else at linebacker is kind of iffy. Devin White's just inconsistent. So yeah, their defense, which was the backbone of the Super Bowl team, you know, even though they had Tom Brady, I mean that defense dominated Patrick Mahomes. They're fading quickly. So yeah, if we're being realistic, there's not much reason to be hopeful that the Bucs are going to do anything this year. I'm just saying, I look at them on paper and I say there is potential for this roster to be okay enough to win the NFC South.
Yeah.
I just don't expect it.
I mean, the hope for Bucs fans would be.
Oh, I know the hope.
We saw a good season from Baker Mayfield not too long ago. Plus, this is probably, not definitely, probably still the best defense in the South. And they got to stop Bryce Young and Desmond Ridder and the Saints.
I'd probably say the Saints or the Panthers are better. But I actually think the hope for, if I'm a Bucs fan, I hope Baker sucks. I mean, I hope this team is miserable and we go get Caleb Williams or Drake May.
I can't with Caleb Williams anymore.
Well, Ziggy would say Drake May.